All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy Thursday. How's everybody doing out there? Elaine Proby here, CEO of Proby's Tax and Accounting and Tips from Elaine's Desk. Welcome back. All right. Hey, Joan. Thanks for jumping on here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hi, Rod Smith. Thank you for jumping in. Hey, bro. How are you? And Ms. Lerner Smith, thank you for the hearts, girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Hit like and share on this video. We're going to have a very, very important conversation today. It is all about tax deductions for renters. You know, the thing about it is a lot of times we're speaking of tax deductions, we're speaking of all these write-offs, we're talking about the people who own homes and mortgage interest and property taxes and all that good stuff. However, there are some things that people who are renting can also deduct and credits that they can have. So, Norman Strong, thanks for jumping in here. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Happy belated birthday to you. Glad you had an awesome and amazing time. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Karen, thanks for jumping in here. So you guys were talking about tax deductions for renters. So I want to talk about 3 tips and things that you can take as a renter. Okay, so let's jump right into the first one. The first one is renter's tax credit. Now, a lot of you out there who are renting, you're probably not aware that the renter's tax credit still exists. There was a time when this credit was refundable. You get it back as a check. Now it just applies to whatever taxes you may owe. However, the renter's tax credit is still in full effect. As a homeowner, you get to write off your mortgage interest and property taxes and all that stuff when you're itemizing. But as a renter, California and some of the other states do have a renter's tax credit that you can get. All right. Now, that credit, of course, is based on your income. There's always some kind of income threshold because a lot of times when they're doing this stuff, they want to make sure that they're helping the people who are making the least amount of money. So, of course, if you're making, let's say, under $50,000 as a single person or married filing separate, you're entitled to get a deduction, a credit, actually, for the renters, the rent that you paid, right? If you're a married filing joint, that number is $101,000 with 2 people's income together. If you make less than that, you're entitled for the renter's credit. Now, you may not see it on your taxes because, of course, again, like I said, it's not a refundable credit. There was a few years back when this was a refundable credit. People were filing their taxes just to get the renter's credit, and they would get checks coming back to them. Now, though, it is a non-refundable renter's credit, but of course, you're entitled to that credit. If you owe taxes again to the state, California is one of those states. There's other states who give you that credit. It will reduce your tax liability to them. And of course, you'll pay less taxes or you get more of a refund. All right. So that's my first point today, guys, the renter's tax credit. So if you forgot all about it or you don't realize you're getting it on your taxes, and if you're not sure, you want to check on your tax return or, just check with your tax preparer, make sure that you are getting the renter's tax credit. Okay. So that is my first point today, guys. Hit like and share on this video. Make sure that everybody get this information. Very important, free stuff. Everybody needs to know this stuff. Like I said, if you don't know, you don't know what to ask, you don't know what to look for. Let's jump into our second point today. And the second point is rent is a business expense. Now, we know, again, if you own a home, if you're operating a business from the home, you're freelancing, you're subcontracting. Everybody talked about home office, and we're speaking of people who own homes and they take a portion of their mortgage and all that good stuff. However, as a renter, if you're renting an apartment or a house, you can also take those deductions. So if you use your home as an office, if you use your home for any type of business, or if you are let's say you are working from home for a company or what have you, you can deduct a portion of your rent as a deduction on your taxes. Okay, so this is a deal. You just have to make sure that you have a dedicated part of the house, where a desk area, wherever you do your work from. And then you have to allocate a portion of your rent. You can't take 100% of the rent. You just have to allocate a portion of the rent for as a deduction, right? So it's not 100%. Let's say you're paying $2,000 a month for rent, and you have determined that 20% of your home is used for work or for your business, then of course you take 20% of that $2,000 a month rent, which is $400. That will be your deduction. All right. So you can deduct rent expenses if you are using a portion of your apartment or your house, or that you're renting as a office or a business workspace. Okay, so very important. And a lot of folks, a lot of times we talk about these deductions. Everyone seems to think that, of course, if you're in a house, you can get it. If you don't, then it doesn't apply. But it's definitely applied to you as well. That's my second point today, guys. Hit like and share on this video. Yes, Laverne Smith, thanks for jumping in here. Hey, sis, how are you? All right. Hit like and share on this video, guys. Let everybody get this information. Tax deduction for renters. So let's jump into our third point today. Now, this one is a little bit interesting, but it happens, right? And I have clients who are in this position where if you are renting a space, an apartment or a home, right, and you are sublet. So subletting as a tax deduction. So for instance, let's say you are in the medical field and then you are asked to go away for say 6 months. You have an apartment that you're leasing or a house that you're leasing, and it's okay with your landlord. You're subletting your space because now you're gone for several months, right? Now, if the person moves into your space and it's okay to sublet it, and now they're paying you rent, right? You can write off the rent that you pay to the landlord. You can write off the utilities, and then this time you can write off 100% of the utilities, of course, because you're not there. They're subletting the space. You can write off all the utilities. Some of us has to pay renter's insurance. You get to write that all off. So the renter's insurance, utilities, and any other expenses that relates to you subletting that space. You may buy certain supplies or linen or whatever it is for subletting the space. You can write all that stuff off. The only other thing to that is you of course have to report all the rent that you collect. But remember, now you're still paying rent. So you collect rent from this person you're subletting, you pay the rent, and you also write off the expenses, the utilities, of course, like I said, all the things that relate to the apartment that you are subletting. Okay, so this happens a lot. I have a lot of traveling nurses, people who leave their space sometimes months at a time, and they're gone to a different state or they're someplace else. They hold on to their space and they're paying rent for it. But if they are in a position where they could sublet their space, you get to deduct all the stuff that's relating to keeping that place intact, as well as the rent that you have to pay. All right. So that's the third point. Again, this may not sound like a very common situation for you guys out there, but I have a lot of clients who are in this position because of what they do and how long sometimes they have to be gone. Some people are even out of the country for months at a time. All right. So very important information. Good to know so you can know what you're entitled to. So if you don't see this on your taxes, you get to ask your tax preparer and make sure that you're getting the benefit of all this stuff. All right. So Brother Will Smith say amen. I love it. All right, guys. So let me recap these 3 points. Tax deduction for renters. Hit like and share on this video. Quick and fast, good information. Some of the stuff you may have heard. Some of you may be aware that it is or isn't on your tax return. And if not, you know why, right? So first point, let's recap. The first one is the renter's tax credit. And I love this credit, of course, because it's very helpful, and I really did like it a lot when they were able to just file your taxes, get renter's credit, get a check. But now it's non-refundable, but it still works. So as long as you're making under $50,000 if you're single, and under $101,000 if you're married, you're entitled to the renter's tax credit from the state of California and some other states who do give you that credit as well. Okay, so second point, rent as a business expense. Now, you don't have to just own a house to be able to write off a portion of the house. If you are renting an apartment, guys, you can write off the portion of your rent that you pay for the space that you use to do your work as a freelance as work from home person, you know, as a subcontractor, you get to write that off, as well as other expenses, you know, the cable and internet and things like that as well. Okay, so that is the second point. And the third one, if you for any reason have to sublet your apartment and you're still paying that rent, you get to write off not just a portion of the expenses for utilities, but you get to write off 100% of the utilities, 100% of any other supplies or expenses relating to you subletting that space. And as long as you report the rent that you collect, you write off the rent that you pay, renter's insurance, and everything else related to that on your tax return. Okay, so those are my 3 points today. So back to tax season. If you guys need any further clarification on this stuff, if you check your taxes, or if you understand how to read this stuff, or you're not sure, make sure that you check with your tax prepare and find out if you're getting those credits. I have clients calling me all the time when they hear about a new credit or hear about something. Am I getting that? Did you check my taxes? Am I getting that? You know, so all my clients always call and ask if they're getting something that they hear about. So if that is your case, then make sure that you're getting those credits and make sure you're getting those right off. All right. So with that said, guys, if you need any further questions or clarification, go to ProbyTax.com. ProbyTax.com. Yeah, go to ProbyTax.com. Book yourself a 15-minute free consultation there. Put yourself on calendar and or call the office at 323-290-9034. Love this commercial. All right, so go to ProbyTax.com. Again, if you need to get your taxes done, of course, we can take care of that for you as well. We're right in the heights of tax season. Everything is done virtually. You don't have to leave your home or office. You can just upload everything to our website, get it all done, DocuSign, get your money deposited. Everything is e-sign, e-pay, direct deposit. You don't have to do anything. We make it easy for you here at Proby Tax and Accounting. Okay, so with that said, we go to elainesdesk.com. I need to make sure that I send you guys to elainesdesk.com. There's so much information there that we're going to make sure that you take advantage. Look, so much money is out there for everybody. If you're running and operating a business, make sure you get your share of those dollars. Okay, so there's a lot of money out there, and a lot of us are operating businesses. But if you don't know what to do, if you're not running your business properly, if you need to know how to take it to the next level, go to elainesdesk.com. Lots of information there. We're going to have the next business webinar up. We have a date, April 18th. Register now at elainesdesk.com. Okay. I'm going to be excited about this one, guys. So make sure you go there and register. Karen, the information, and all you guys out there at elainesdesk.com. Okay, so with that said, I think that brings me back to, every Tuesday and Thursday. Of course, you guys are here. Hit like and share this video. Make sure everyone gets this information. And if you have any questions regarding any of this stuff, put it in the chat, guys. I always come back through here and try to respond to everything that's in there. And so just if you have any comments or questions, put it in there. Okay, Karen says, okay, thank you. Okay, with that said, guys, that brings me to the end of this conversation. And this is, again, like I said, it's Thursday, almost the end of the week. This brings us to let's see, you're watching. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that I catch everything, because a lot of times, she put all the stuff on there, and sometimes I go right past it. So I want to make sure I catch it all. Okay, so with that said, guys, I want you guys to have a wonderful rest of your Thursday afternoon. And she's take care. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday afternoon. Make sure that you guys look forward to the weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. If you need to relax or release and let go of the whole week of all the stress that you go through, you guys can come hang out with me at karaoke tomorrow night. This is where I will be. John said, thank you for the information and have a great weekend. All right, you guys have a wonderful weekend as well. And with that said, I want you guys to take care of each other and take care of yourself. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.